Alright, just got done maxing out my new Nyanbo Elzamekia. There we go. The best charming team you can make. Man, almost 16,000 HP. Heck yeah, 98% unity and a 20% watch. Pretty nice if I say so myself. Why don't I just check my other teams and see what their HP is? 14,000 and 14,000 again, 14,000 again. 1644. Why does Eerie have more stats than my Charming? They have a whole less Unity character, and their watch is lower too. Why? How does that work? Well, if you're wondering why that works, that's because of the power of limit breaks. You see, limit breaks are kind of underrated, but sometimes overrated too, depending on the person. We'll just go ahead and replace BD on this team because he's definitely inflating the numbers more than they actually are. And we'll just put Sakura-chan on because she has the most HP. And as you can see, 15,000 HP, which is granted a whole around 900 lower than my Charming team, as you can see. But only 900 for a whole 5% less from the watch and a whole, what is that, 24% unity? Yeah, a whole 29% unity to stats. All almost made up for it immediately just because of limit breaks. Yeah, see, limit breaks are really insane. So what I have here is my previous tribe team HP, my calculations. This is basically me just showing the power of Unity, how stats are calculated, and was basically saying, yeah, Shady kind of sucks right now because their stats are fairly mediocre and they don't have a fast fever, which every other tribe has. So while we're here, let's go ahead and just talk about how stats are calculated. So basically, the way that stats work is we have their, you get your 5 members, and you have their base stat totals. So basically, Demon God Nate has a total stat at like the normal limit breaks you can get them of 1599. Itsuki is 1568. Yami Ken was 1316. Megumin's 1507, and NOA Earthwalker is 1053. This gives them a base HP total of 7,043. They also have a 20% watch. And then they have the base flatline unity from having 5 brave characters, and then the 60% unity from the skills of NOA, Yami Kenma, and Demon God Nate. So you got 24% unity plus 20% unity plus 16% unity gets to 60%. The 60% plus the 30% from just having 5 brave characters is 90%. Plus the 20% from the watch is an effective 110% stat increase from the base HP, which gives them a total of 14,790. So stats are kind of easy to calculate, and I removed Black Dragon because he only increases the HP of 3 of the 5 characters, so I didn't really want to deal with him on there, just because it makes calculations a little bit more difficult. So if we scroll down to Tough, which a lot of people say, oh yeah, their stats are just insane, you'll see that they have, 5 characters. However, their base HP is only around 300 higher than Brave. And if we take a look at a tribe like Eerie, you'll see their stats are way higher than Tough is, without factoring in unities, of course. And then once we factor in unities, they're not really too far behind. Why is that? Well, because Eerie over here has access to multiple limit break 10 characters. Jingi is a UZ rank who can get a max HP stat of 1804. Taicho Ray also can be LB10 and can get 1470, and Izana can get 1503. And then Marine and Arachnus are UZ ranks, meaning that they have just high stats in general. Meanwhile, with Tough, Future Ren has 1578, Tamonten Ren has 1577, both of them are UZ ranks, however they're only around limit break 4, I want to say. Triple OPC could only get around 4 limit breaks, leaving him a very sort of pathetic 1404. Puppet Gunshin can get 7, however his HP stat is low, which gives us 1410, and Summer Corone is also kind of low, giving 1415. I say low because, Triple Z's are really old now, believe it or not. Which means that their base HP just isn't as high as Eerie's, which means that they can kind of make up for the difference of a whole extra Unity character on the team. If we go down to Slippery, you'll see they have a higher base stat total than Tough does. Of course, my dog decided he wanted to walk in with his super loud nails on the hardwood floor, and then he just wants to circle around because he can't make it on the bed. If you can hear him, he has to prepare himself, and then half the time he just misses and falls. He's very weird. So anyways, their base HP with Slippery is 7,591. However, with stats, like with the Unity characters, is only 14,422. That's because of, Unity characters. But as you can see, their base stats are much higher because they have Mercury Death and Santa U. And then, they have two friggin' UZ ranks. One of them almost has 16,000 HP. And the low tier shoe is just kind of, he's very low, but it's kind of made up for with Mercury Death. So why don't we just compare the tribes nowadays, because, we have new characters. I'll compare my characters because, that's the HP stats you're going to see. So anyways, Ihaibara has an HP stat of 1, 2, 3, 4 because I didn't get any limit breaks. Next up is Komami, who has 1572. Then next up is Shuka, who has 1565. Then we have Red and White Elzamekia, who has 1485. Then we have Fumihime, who has 1467. That gives us 7,323. I did not mean to pin this, I meant to duplicate it, and then I want to move it over. So then we'll go ahead and look at my Erie team. So just give me a second. Actually, I don't even need to do it. I can just look at it in this menu. So we have Jingi with 1804. Then we have Arachnus. Mine is LB10, so he has 1720. Then we have Marine, who is 1574. Then we have not Taichiro. Then we have Sakuchan, who has 1468. Then we have Taicho Ray. Mine's LB9, so he has 1421. And as you can see, Slippery has Erie has a way higher base stat total than Charming does, which is really the whole reason that their HP stat isn't really too far off, considering they're a whole 5% Unity and 24% Unity less. So why don't we calculate the multipliers? Charming has 98% Unity plus a 28% Watch. So we'll go parentheses, 98% plus 20%. Yeah. Which gets, I guess I did something wrong. Hang on. Plus 20 plus 96 is 108, 118%, which gets 15,964. But because Puni is rounding things weird, we get 15,962. So we'll go over to the Erie tribe. So we'll wipe over to my Erie team. And then we have access to 74% plus the 15% Watch, which gets 89% Unity, which gets us 15,093, which in this case, Puni still rounds down. I don't really know how they round things. It's very weird. But as you can see, very big difference if I just look up change calculator. We'll go, did you really put calendar? Ugh. Percentage change calculator. So we'll take the Charming number. Wait for this. Here. Then we'll take the Erie number. Put it here. And it is around only 5%, 5.5% of a stat change, which really isn't that big, considering a whole 29% Unity is missing. So why don't we just check the damage of, these big numbers? So what we'll do is we'll go to the Charming tribe. And I don't really want to use Red and White Elzamekia because she has a Nyanbo Soultimate multiplier, but I don't really have a choice. So we'll use her, and then I guess we'll just use Mysterious at the same time because they have Okayu. Now, granted, my Okayu is level 70 compared to Red and White Elzamekia, who's, level 90, but whatever. So we'll go to Slimeamander. No, actually, I'll go to my good old buddy Squid Diddly, the red. And we'll do the thing where you get a size 44 Puni, use the EX pop, and then we'll do the Fever Extend, and then we'll see how much damage Red and White Elzamekia is going to do. So I'll be right back, I guess. Alright, so we're back. We're just going to link every one of these Puni. Hopefully I get it right the first time. Oh, nope, didn't get it right at all. Seems good. EX pop. Wait, crap, I messed up. Whatever. Minus 350k. We get however damage that was. Alright, we're back again. Hopefully I do it right this time, so I don't have to do this more than I have to. And let's go. There. Now I can purely see how much damage Elzamekia does. So 317k. 317 to 543. So we'll just go to calculator. 543 minus 317 gets us a total of 226k. That's pretty impressive considering that my LB3 UZ Itsuki on Brave can do like 220k. I think probably. Last I checked, that's what she did. So now we'll grab Okayu and see how much damage she can do. Because I was 99% certain that the fever power buff was for the party, I decided to replace Aqua with Bunny Eat. So we'll be using her instead. Granted, it's less of a freaking fever power buff, but whatever. So 240k compared to 478 minus 240k. So 478 minus 240 gets 238 compared to Red and White Elzamekia 226. And I want to remind you, Okayu is level 70. She is level 70 compared to Red and White Elzamekia, who is level 90. So, I feel like the best way that I can show you the power of limit breaks is to use Slippery with Mercury Death. So the Slippery team that I'll build is obviously Mercury Death, Kegure Zochten, Ryuta, Santiyu, and then we'll use low tier Shu so that way it's a little bit more fair. And then we'll put on their 20% watch. So basically what's missing is a whole UZ Unity plus another 28%. Yeah, because low tier Shu is only 20% compared to one of the UZ's 24. And yeah. And if you think, okay, well that means Fever Extent, that means what you call them, Soultimate fillers normally do 226. I gotta remind you, Red and White Elzamekia has a Nyanbo Soultimate multiplier, so she hits just a little bit harder than other, like, what you calls them do. So, yeah. So yeah, I'll be back, and we'll figure out how much damage Mercury Death can do. Alright, so here we are. Hopefully I'll be able to get this, and Mercury Death's drop big doesn't mess it up. So yeah, let's go. So let's see what he does. 286. So let's go ahead and get this ready. 519 minus 286. 519 minus 286, which gives us 233k with a whole 28% less unity. Is it really? It's that much of a difference? Not exactly. You see, I've made a little bit of a mistake. G Soultimates are a thing. Mercury Death is here at G4, and Okayu, I'm fairly certain, is also G4. Yeah, she is G4. However, my Red and White Elzamekia is only G1, as you can see. So, let's get her up to G4 and compare the 226k compared to whatever she'll be able to do now. So, here we go. All the way up. A little bit beyond G4 because I'm not used to having this many books. So yeah, G4, so now it should be totally fair. So let's see just how much damage she'll be able to go up from 226 and like up to. Here we are back at it again. And of course he covers my entire screen. Yeah. Oh, let's go. Shuka's right there. So, 317. 317 up to 568. So 568 minus 317, 251k. Yeah, G Soultimates are a really big deal. If we compare my damage tests to, I actually can probably pull it up right now if I wanted to. So here we are at my damage calculations, and we'll scroll down just a little bit to see. So as you can see, Fuyu Dread is LB1G3 and does almost 115k. Shinji is LB10G1 and almost does 116k. So 3 limit breaks almost made up the difference of 9 limit breaks. So 2 extra G Soultimate levels made up for the difference of almost 9 limit breaks. Yeah, G Soultimates are insane. So you might think, oh, okay, so yeah, Unity is insanely important. You gotta remember, Okayu at level 70 did 233k, which means a highball she'll do 240k. Yeah, that's pretty insane considering they're missing 5% Unity. So, no, they're missing the 5% from the watch and a whole 8% Unity for 13% less attack Okayu has to access to. So, yeah, and the Nyanbo multiplier too. So even though, you know, Red and White Elsmechia did 250k right here, normally Soultimate fillers don't do that much, and it's not that big of a difference. But hopefully you will be able to see limit breaks are pretty important. Like, seriously. Like, wow. Like, insanely important. So why don't we try to compare without any sort of watch multiplier? So my Tensei Yusen is G4 LB0. So we'll put him on the team. Then we'll go over to Brave and replace UZ Itsuki with, I guess, normal Itsuki. Granted, my normal Itsuki is G5, so there's kind of a difference there. The 15% watch instead. So the only difference is 1 G Soultimate level and 10 limit breaks. Alright, hopefully I actually get lucky enough this time. Let's go. So 155. So 346 minus 155 gets us 191k for OB10 G5. Alright, so I decided to use Kirachara as the big puni because they're both double Z ranks. Crap, I just realized I don't have... Oh wait, he has Feverfill now. So both him and Earthwalker NOA have ZZ attack stats. So 66,000. 232 minus 66,000 is 166k. Granted, there is a whole G Soultimate level, which is highballed 10k. It's 10k damage. So what was the history? 191 compared to 176. Limit breaks alone gave 186 plus 5, 15,000 extra damage. Which doesn't sound like a lot, except that's per Soultimate this character does. An extra 15,000 plus the extra HP they give you purely off of limit breaks. Limit breaks are way more valuable than you probably realized. So if you want to have learned anything from this video, limit breaks really important to do. But honestly, what's even more important is G Soultimate levels, because oh my god, 250k from an LV0 character? Goodness. Yeah. So hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And yeah, level up your characters, get their G Soultimates up, get their limit breaks so you can have high stats, and get the 20% watches, because they don't make the biggest difference, but 5% is apparently a pretty decent difference.